Welcome to Rooster Radio, everybody. I'm here. That was the Planks, y'all. Check them out.
Howdy.
Hello.
We got Brandon. We got Will. We got Braden. Tell everybody what you do in the band.
I'm Braden. I play the bass.
I'm Will, and I play the drums.
I'm Brian. I play guitar.
Brian, I said Brandon. I can't get your name right.
It's cool.
Paul.
Paul. Can we just call you
Paul.
Paul?
Yeah,
This is the one guy I've been communicating with. It's the one guy's name I can't remember. I'm terrible.
Paul.
That's why you don't do drugs.
Right.
So, Blow My Shoe. How great is that? Like when you wrote that song, did you know it was going to be that awesome?
No.
Not
Yes.
Will did.
Will knew it.
Will heard it from the seed that it was.
Yeah.
No, we were just messing around at practice one day and just came up with it out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was fun. We like it a lot.
Was Kira with you when you wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like it was all wrote at one
Kira
time?
jumped on it. Yeah, Kira jumped on it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been listening to it all week, and I hope that you take this as a compliment, but it really has like a '90s vibe.
Oh yeah.
Not more about how alternative it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do mean that as a compliment. Well done.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, Planks, you guys are from the Greenville area,
you. Indeed.
Greer,
we're
South
here.
Carolina.
Greer, South Carolina. Shout out to our friends down there, Jake
yeah.
from Orlair.
yeah.
Orlair.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And you guys, you haven't been together that long, have you? Did the pandemic, is that what brought this band about?
That's when it started.
Yeah,
Oh
right,
yeah. That's how it started because I was out of work for a few weeks, and me and Braden were already playing bass together. So we were just chilling and jamming in the house when we were roommates, and wrote a song, and then
Yeah.
we were like shit.
Trash
might as well-
can song?
Yeah,
Trash
trash
can,
can.
yeah,
And
trash
then
can.
we were like, shit, I guess we'll try to make more. Like, so it took us like a few months before we came up with a band name, but we wanted to be the Shrubs. I thought the Shrubs would be cool.
Shrubs.
Yeah.
There was somebody already took it, right?
Yeah, like an 80s band.
Yeah, somebody already took it.
Is the Planks, is that a reference to anything particular, or you just...
No, it's kind of.
Brian's kind of a plank, like
We're just
me and Brian
kind
are
of
planky.
We're just kind of like stiff wood like, I guess. Oh damn, that sounded weird. Just
Yeah.
like
Very plank-like.
yeah,
so
plank.
think, think erection when you say Planks?
No, well, I mean I do, but
You didn't see Brian's dildo that he played with at the show the other day?
Oh,
yeah.
Put a
Is that
fucking
a
huge...
guitar trick?
No, he just put a huge fucking strap on.
Yeah,
on
really.
yeah, on the it was Halloween, and I want to do something stupid.
So yeah, I guess so, in that way.
No, it's a cool name. The Planks. It's two syllables. It's the Strokes. I think about stuff like that.
Right.
It's and you guys are kind of in that alternative world too, so it works. I like it. I like the name. I like the song.
Thank you,
Well
man.
done,
Yeah.
fellas.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So tell me a little bit about how you're being received in that Greenville scene. We've had a couple of bands on from the Greenville scene, and I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about Greenville. So I want to talk for a minute about the scene down there, because those who don't know, those that are in Gaston County watching us, I'm one of the handful of people that will make the trek down that way to see shows from time to time.
Right.
And sell the Greenville scene for a minute.
It's fucking awesome right now, dude. Shout out to the Greenville scene. Y'all are killing it because the music coming out of it is great. I mean, like, we get to play with tons of good bands, like, all the time. And just like tomorrow, like, good-ass show tomorrow at the Radio Room, Quality Time, Jail Socks. 2 other bands I can't remember, so I'm sorry to those bands. But, I mean, just killer, like, and the support is awesome, too. Like, it's nice because a lot of our friend bands, like, we're all friends, so... Good, we get to share the fans and the people that come out, so it's nice, man, when you get to put together a good show where all those people come together at once. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It feels communal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's and I'd be lying if I was saying I wasn't a little envious. We're not open yet, and that's exactly the vibe I want to create here in Gaston County is that collaborative. Everyone coming to each other's shows.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Sharing each other's stuff.
So sharing, collaborating. Critiquing even.
Right.
Constructive criticism.
It helps. It goes a long way.
I will say one thing that's really awesome is like other bands going out to other band shows when they're not playing. Like there's been a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the only audience.
yeah, it really is sometimes.
And that's
It
where
really
you
is.
really become friends with the bands. too,
Yeah,
'cause
and sometimes that's cooler because it's like, damn, like
Yeah.
y'all are at least out here supporting.
it's not
us,
always the
you know?
most people. It's about the quality of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So you guys have a great thing going on, and I definitely hope you stick with it because I see a lot of big things coming out of the area. Plus, you got a radio station down there that can help promote the scene if they would.
Right. Yeah,
If
right.
they get off that corporate shit.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. For real.
Will hates corporations, especially.
Damn.
Who do you work for?
Right now I'm unemployed, so fuck the man.
Because there's too many corporations.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the pandemic happened, so that was all that was left, right? All us little
Yeah.
mom and pop shops got pushed to the side.
Damn right.
Yeah, they did.
So I had a question. You guys mentioned that like everybody down there's like bands and friends of bands. How did you all like meet? How did you all kind of get together? Was this kind of a meeting of other bands that kind of formed this, or
Our friendship was non-musical, but as far as us being friends with other bands, yeah, definitely like just going to different shows and like meet. That's the thing there. Like the people, most bands are cool enough to like where afterwards they talk to you. So you know you're just there as a listener. Get to talk to everybody, show them what you're like. You know, talk, and link up and hang out and start listening to each other's music and stuff. It's cool. But our friendship is not. We're just me and Brian went to school together and played ball together.
Yeah, we one of our buddies, Josh, he's like, we knew Bryce and his brother. He's like, my brother's gonna come skate with us tomorrow. He's gonna bring his friend Chandler. So we're like, oh hell yeah! And they were actually in a band, and then we got to hanging out with them through skating and stuff. And then it's just like we saw them doing music, and it took like a year and a half after meeting them for us to actually like get into it, like buying instruments and shit. But when we did, we were like, "This is sick."
So you haven't always played
No.
guitar? You just kind of picked it up a couple years ago?
Yeah, me and Braden were living together. When was that? Like 2019, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't
That's
play.
really impressive.
I don't play the most technical shit, but you know, I try to make it fun.
punk
at
rock.
least. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian grinds it
Yeah,
out.
I try to make
We
it
both
fun.
Yeah, well, you're definitely succeeding, in making it fun.
Thank you, man.
Well, now would be a great time to mention that you can listen to the Planks music on Spotify, Apple Music,
Indeed.
Bandcamp. I think you're on there as well.
Trash
Yeah.
can is right. It's
Trash
Trash
can.
Can
Oh
is.
yeah, I don't know if Blood on My Shoes.
We
is
need to
there
put it
yet,
on.
but-
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit. All 2 of our songs.
Yes. Listen to them.
Well, you've got more.
Yeah,
I did do a little bit of research before this episode. I did get to see you guys perform on the Static Attic podcast.
Oh,
So
yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
Static Attic.
Yeah,
Hey, Mark's
Mark's awesome. Mark's
Don't know
awesome.
you, Mark, but we need to meet. But I saw you played a handful of songs on that, and they're all good.
Thank you.
They're all
Thanks.
really good. They're all very punk rock, very DIY.
Right.
I could see any of your songs in a skater video. Like,
Oh, yeah,
That'd
that,
be
that
awesome.
means a lot. That's
Yeah, that'd be
better
awesome.
than
That's a
any
goal.
other shit.
Yeah, that's a goal.
it's good stuff, man. So, with that in mind, who is recording your music? Because the 2 that you've got out there are you just using Pro Tools and putting this together, or do you
Well,
have any kind of production behind you?
Our buddy Zach, he's in Act Normal and he's in Pump Stank now.
Rocco and His Bones.
And and his solo project, Rocco and His Bones, super awesome stuff. He records all his solo stuff for Rocco and His Bones, and he recorded a majority of the Act Normal stuff. And so when we came up with Trash Can, and we just recorded it with him, but actually for Blood on My Shoe, it was awesome. This band, the studio hit us up on Instagram. It was like, they're called Valley Court Studio.
Valley Court
And-
Studio.
Oh, yeah. they're super nice.
They're from their places out in Landrum, South Carolina. And he was like, "Yo, we're trying to get to record more artists and stuff. We'd love for y'all to come and record a single for us." So he got us to record a single for like a really good price, and just to get his name out there too, just like we're trying to do.
Help
And,
each other out, yeah.
So yeah, we got lucky with that because we've been struggling on trying to get EP.
And they
done
were
and
so
stuff.
cool. Like their place was cool. It's like above their garage.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like it was,
Yeah.
they did it up nice. Like, and they had beer for me and Brian. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
dude, on tap, on
Yeah.
tap.
Yes, sir.
Well, free beer on tap, and you get to record your songs. What
Yes.
more can you ask for?
Exactly,
It's a
and they were
dream.
super nice too.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
You mentioned putting together an EP. You've got
Our sounds have changed in such a short amount of time. It's
Right.
almost like we've recorded some songs before, but we need to like kind of rework how to maybe even place old songs.
Yeah, right.
Like
so maybe the EP is a good idea for the old songs as you're continuing to work on new
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only been together for what, a year and a half? Is that about right?
With Will and Kira, I mean, like, 6 months, right?
Yeah, with Kira's our vocalist, like.
We should talk for a minute about Kira. She's not here tonight with us.
Yeah.
But she was the voice behind that brilliant song.
Indeed.
Was she also just another kid hanging out that
She's actually my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and actually, the past couple of weeks we've played as a 3-piece. She's actually going through some mental health issues and stuff. And,
She's been taking a little break.
Yeah, she just needs a little break to clear her mind and stuff. And so we've been playing as a 3-piece, and it's like
It's fun. It's jammy.
I was worried as shit. Like 2 days before our Halloween show, we were like, "Damn, we gotta play as a 3-piece," and I was like, "We gotta not do this because
we
have a trash can, which I can sing it, and like I do sing it, but we had nothing else and that I sing. So we did one of the songs off this little solo shit I do. And it was cool. It's a real simple song and stuff. And then we just came up with random jams.
Yeah, they're just jams what we're playing right now. But
So you made it work.
Yeah, we made it work.
Opening, we're just having fun. We're just going out there and playing. So.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Kira. Hopefully she's watching this tonight.
Hello,
and,
Kira.
Kira,
Hey, Kira.
I hope, I wish the best for you. I hope you get well. That I understand that more than anybody. Sometimes you need to take a step back.
Indeed, yes.
And then I'm sure once she's ready, you guys are going to welcome her back with open arms and be
yeah.
ready to write some new shit.
We're ready to rock out.
Are you writing new stuff during this time? Like how often? You've only been together, you said, for about 6 months, and you've got 6 songs. Are we at a song a month rate at this point? Is that how quick we're banging them out?
We've kind of dabbled in like playing different songs at different sets, and based off of whether we liked it, if it turned out all right, dabbling with it in practice. We'll scratch and take songs kind of as we go. Like we might have this song for we might have played it for 3 months, and then we really got tired of it and didn't really like it that much. But it worked for those 3 months. It goes away. So
are you able to take pieces?
Yeah, we
and
do
to
stuff
create.
like that. Yeah.
Take the one thing you like about it,
especially structures and stuff like that of the song. Yeah, but we're trying to get better at really putting our time into making quality songs. You know what I mean? But we throw the jams in there too, which is fun. So.
Well, that's why you do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it.
That's
Yeah.
the most fun.
Yeah.
So you guys have a unique thing going on. If anyone watching this goes back and looks at some of the stuff that's out there about you guys, you talk a lot about this barn. And I wanna clear the air right now. I want to get the whole story. Tell me about this barn. Tell me how the whole thing started. Tell me all about this barn situation you have going on.
Take it away.
Because I think it's awesome, and I'll tell you. I'll say why after. Go ahead.
All right.
Well, first thing off, us three are Braden freaking lives there. First of all,
I live there. Yeah.
But we've been doing this stuff for 3 years. But it's not just us three. It's a good group of us.
It's a bunch of people.
And it's a bunch of really awesome people. And because our buddies Curly Blue, the whole reason it started because they needed somewhere to play their first time, didn't have any videos or nothing, so they're like, we're just gonna throw a random show, and they did that. But the barn's awesome. Now we're just trying to. It's a good chance for there's a lot of bands popping up in especially in Greer. Greer's
Greer's got a few good bands that's popping
for how
up.
fucked up and busy it is now. It's still pretty small. And for how many bands that are popping up, it's damn, man, it's a good spot for them to come play and stuff. And Spartanburg and Greenville right there beside us.
So this is the barn on the property that you live at?
Indeed, yeah.
And you ran some power out there? You're like,
drop chord, yeah.
Screw it, we're gonna do this. Have you let other bands come and play?
Oh yeah, dude, people play all the time. People
so
come
you're
over.
doing DIY shows and stuff?
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't even said that. It's not a loosely run DIY venue, but right now it's a well-run DIY venue.
Well, I don't want to get you in any kind of trouble or anything, so we don't have to give away locations or anything like that.
We're on
Google
Maps.
Maps.
We sold our souls already.
But
so.
yeah, but no, it's been going for 3 years, and you know, probably counting that year that we couldn't do shows before we started.
Yeah, it's about 8 months or
but
9 months or
man, there's been a shit ton of bands come through there, and a lot of bands that we didn't even know of before,
and that's a group thing of finding the bands too, Brian's done good at it, Othie's done good at it, everybody's done really good at just yo, I saw this band this Saturday randomly, and they're cool. Find who they are, message them, figure out how to get to them.
And that's how you're kind of putting these little shows together?
Yeah.
But now it's we're blessed enough to have so many people, people message us asking to play, or we've seen people at different shows the old times, but we'll be 2 or 3 months out and try to be dealing with these bands for
Oh, yeah.
that month. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're basically running a venue.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what-
yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I think it's so cool is because, you know, it's one of those where there's a will, there's a way kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys, you've immersed yourself. You've got these groups of friends, and you've got these talented people you're surrounded by, and we need an outlet. We need somewhere to go and release
maybe
this
build
energy
it.
and build
Dude.
build this scene. And you literally are doing it by yourself in a barn.
Yeah.
And I respect the shit out of it,
Thank
man.
you.
I do.
I
I
do.
love it. You know, like I said, I'm a little envious.
Come out the 19th and 20th. We're doing.
That's a crazy weekend.
It's gonna be a fucked up weekend. It's Friday night shows, 5 bands that night,
Yeah.
and then Saturday night 6 bands, camping in the middle and rave,
An all-night rave in between.
food, vendors.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no one's effed with you yet.
Cops, but
Every now and then, like,
yeah, we try to.
We've kind of somewhat figured out how to keep the sound leveled. Like we used to, blare outside as well. So like outdoor shows are guaranteed to get cops.
Yeah.
But we somewhat can keep the sound
And keep it contained a little.
somewhat. Yeah.
And we're lucky enough. The neighbor, they run this little garage. They work on cars and stuff. It's Tim and Jerry.
Shout out to Tim and Jerry.
Yeah, Tim and Jerry, and they let us use their lot to park in and stuff. Because I mean, sometimes
It's got power lines.
it'll be and there's a whole power line trail in between, so we can just park a shit ton of cars, and we get on parking duty and shit. It's like it gets that bad where we have to be. There's like 4 of us out there parking, and it's ridiculous.
Eat them mushrooms and shit.
Yeah, for real, like, God, not even. Parking's tough.
It's crazy out there, but it's so fun, man. That place has got magical soil. I swear to God, it does. Like,
It does, yeah. It's not. You're talking about going like it's just places where you can release, energy and stuff, and
yeah,
it's not just a venue for us. It's
like
like
some fairies died there or something.
it's like a place I'll go when I'm in a bad state of mind, like all fucked up, had a bad day and stuff. I'll go there and
anybody can stay the night.
I'll go there and I'll crash. Like the past 2 weeks, I've been going through a lot of shit, and it's I'm just like, damn, I crashed there like 6 nights out of the past 2 weeks. It's not. It's a lot more than just a venue to us. It's like our headquarters.
I get it. I do. Like
It's
I said,
awesome,
it does sound magical.
You need to get out there. It'd be awesome.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be the old guy, the creepy old guy.
No, you wouldn't be.
My parents have been out there and shit, man. It'd be cool.
Oh, so your folks are all supportive?
Man,
Yeah,
we've had people come from Google thinking it was a venue. We've had people come in thinking that they were like at a downtown event with like babies and strollers. Like,
Yeah,
we've had a lot of like
Since we've been on Google Maps, it's been ridiculous.
Yeah, Google Maps is probably not the best idea.
We had people. The last show we had to cancel. We had Lovely World playing there, and they have a lot of fans. Like just a lot of fans.
Spartanburg region.
Yeah, and they go out to LA and do shit, so they just have fans in a lot of places. And I have my phone number on there for like if you like on Google to call the barn. And I had people call me from Atlanta asking that day if the show was still going on. I was like, no, it's canceled. They're like, damn, we're coming from Atlanta. We've never even been to Greer. I was like, what the hell? Like, damn, I can't believe y'all heard of like.
That's amazing.
Next thing you know, you're gonna get some people. Hey, we want to do a jazz night at the barn.
We've gotten a lot, dude. We've gotten a lot of jazz night would be sick, dude. Jazz night would be awesome.
If y'all know jazz people, let us know.
Yeah, we're down to do
Jazz
anything
night,
there,
that'd be
dude. Anything. Like we want to put on some more hip hop nights and stuff.
Stuff like that, yeah.
It'd be cool.
We're lucky enough. He's got good equipment. Like the barn equipment is not the best. Like as far as like the speakers, like get a lot of feedback and shit. But Will's the sound man. Like
we all play that little role.
Will and Othie are the sound men. They really kill it.
Man, you guys have really put together a beautiful thing. I gotta
you.
say, it's I respect the shit out of it, man.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Well, let's shift gears for a second, and let's talk about the songwriting process for you guys.
All right.
You said you gotta get in a room and you start jamming and stuff, and you guys really recently just started playing instruments. When you started playing, was there any kind of intention to sound a certain way? How did it start, and how did you kind of get to this level you're at when it comes to putting together music?
Will's the pickiest to sound a certain way.
But Will's the sound man. Like that's what I'm saying. He's the sound man. He's been playing longer than me and Brian and Kira.
Way longer.
So he's kind of like we go to Will. We're like play something, and they're like, "What do you think?" Like it's like it's not like that, but it is.
It can be.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like,
when we're back in our brains.
But it really is a lot of help with me and Brian figuring out where we're at, playing the right chords and the structure of the song and stuff.
Yeah.
Will knows a lot more about it than me and Brian, so
We'll be showing us
that helps out
harmonizing notes. And
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell?
Sure.
So, Will, do you have a musical upbringing? Were
Yeah.
you? Were you? So, I mean, you're obviously the
his
drummer.
mom's an opera singer.
Oh, really? Shout out. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did that. I started drum lessons when I was young, and I've been playing over half my life. So like that is a thing. I love it, and I picked up guitar later. So yeah, definitely engrossed in it for sure.
Well, with your mom being an opera singer, what did you get exposed to growing up as far as music in the household?
She does opera. That's one thing. She was a vocal performance major, but also piano. I took piano lessons for sure, growing up, from her a little bit and from another lady, but she was always playing piano. So that's
classical music and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like sheet music and all that stuff.
Boring.
So what? Well, I mean, it can't. Well, actually, no.
That's why we have this good brain.
What a lot of people don't realize is that classical music is literally the first cousin of heavy metal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
Will
both
could
intricate.
probably
Will loves
attest to
heavy metal.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like it.
The note signatures, the time signatures, and the structure.
Yeah, right.
They're very, very similar between classical and
Yeah.
heavy metal.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of get into the rock and roll scene from that, classical piano opera style? Like,
That
what was your
blues
exposure?
Oh, the blues, baby. I mean, kind of, really, but
Yeah.
I started taking drum lessons when I was like 11. I think it was just like a type of thing where like parents put their kids in baseball and soccer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I did all that stuff too, but I just stuck with it. I don't know. I just had to be a musician. You have to kind of listen to music too. So luckily, I got into like all those classic rock bands around that time when I was in middle school, trying to learn songs. Like a classmate is telling me he's learning a Led Zeppelin song, and I'm like, oh, I gotta learn that on drums to play with them. It may never happen, but it gets
Y'all
you
had a cool
listen.
garage, right? Y'all had a cool garage you jammed in?
Yeah, even in my room upstairs, that's where that kind of came from. So.
What about you guys? What kind of when you were kids growing up, did your parents expose you to music as well? I mean, you didn't start playing till later in life, but you clearly have some sort of deep connection to music. You wouldn't be this good that quick if you didn't. So
My dad raised me, and it was me and him. Like, I was with him a lot. Like, he was my baseball coach my whole life and shit. And
your dad's your bro.
yeah, my dad's my bro, like literally. And but not as far as like playing, but he's the one that introduced me to a lot of the
93.3 introduced.
What inspired? No, 93.3 not introduced me. But my dad.
I don't want to throw shade. I don't want to hate on
No, I'm not at all. I'm not at all.
Look. Believe me, you don't want them to go away.
Batman 9, Page, and Fat Boy.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, shout out to the Rise guys.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunate thing is that it's a corporate thing,
Yeah.
so
And
they're
they know
limited.
that. They know that. They know that shit.
They know that.
So your dad kind of you just listen to whatever your dad listened to, and you just happen
he
to like
just-
rock and roll.
He listened to a lot of heavy metal and just some bullshit dad rock too. But it got me into rock music and stuff.
Don't start hating
but-
on Limp Bizkit.
Hey, Fred Durst is my dude.
That guy right there. That's a biscuit.
Shut the fuck up.
God damn.
I went on a Limp Bizkit rant last week and they hated it.
Oh my god.
I don't like Fred Durst or nothing, but I went on to put a whole bunch of Fred Durst memes on our Instagram page and stuff.
What is it? You and Taze are like cornheads, right?
Yeah, me and Jay
Yeah,
like
cornheads.
I'll tell you. I mean, you guys probably aren't old enough to remember the reality of how big the scene was in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh man,
I was
wish
in my
around
I was
then.
in my early 20s, late teens during that scene,
Mhm.
and just the enormity, just how big Limp Bizkit and Korn,
Yeah.
and Deftones, and like that
awesome.
whole new metal scene that came out of that time frame,
was
Slipknot.
new, yeah.
It was nuts, and they were so big. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing a Limp Bizkit or a Korn
Right.
song. I mean, there's still a couple of my favorite bands to this day. They're great. It's
Right.
great music, but it is wild because my dad growing up, it was all classic rock. It was
Right.
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, Steely Dan.
Well, that's
Yeah,
all
I
this
love
stuff.
Steely Dan.
I do.
Big Steely
Yeah,
Dan.
Steely Dan's great. I mean, you probably love
I love
Steely
all
Dan.
that shit.
Yeah, and my generation is the first generation who's if you're listening to a classic rock station now and you're listening to our music, and it's wild.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Yeah, all the songs are about fucking and doing
Yeah.
drugs, and back then they were kind of writing about life, just
Yeah.
the everyday man struggle. And then, you know, the 90s happened, and,
Yeah.
you know, it's weird because, you know, we talk to a lot of bands on this show, and anytime we get a band that's younger in here, a lot of them, their parents raised them on the same music that I grew up on, and it's just weird, like, the difference, you know, you know, one of these days, I hope this never happens to me, one of these days I'm going to be the guy like, look at these fucking kids. You know, it's like, it happens to every generation. It's going to happen to you too,
Well,
you know?
it's like you said, what your dad listened to is like the classic rock and stuff. And it's like every generation it just gets like more alternative, you know, like and then when
one day they'll be listening to King Giz and that'll be like old head shit. Like,
like you listened to the new metal when you were growing up, and now new metal is like kind of like whoever does it now. It's like you're never gonna do it as good as it. Well, like, I didn't grow up in that time, but nobody now is ever gonna.
Well,
do it
what
as
they're
good
doing
as
now is they're just adding more sounds. You know, like the
Yeah.
bass, the you know the if you break it down, the bass of what's happening right now with the newer metal bands, it's the same shit. They're just adding more synth. You know, which a lot of it I like. Some of it not so much. You know, there's bands like. Well, there's bands like Bring Me the Horizon. This is a band that I want to like so much, but then you listen to an album, it's like that's the kind of band you could only listen to like the hits.
Yeah.
Because you go to listen to the album, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
But then there's
But
that
then
one
there's
song.
that busts out,
There's that one song. Like, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Like, do that more.
Do that more, yeah. I know
Whereas-
that goes, yeah.
But back when I was younger, you know, bands were making albums. We were kind of talking about that before the show.
EPs are
About
weird.
well, I love them because when you listen to an album, you really get a feel for who the band is.
I like
You know,
it.
you know, a lot of the one-hit wonders. You know, since the beginning, dawn of music, there's been one-hit wonders, guys that just
right.
You know, and you know what? I got nothing against that.
Sometimes
you know,
they're good.
You know, there's a band in the 90s called Jesus Jones that wrote a song called Right Here, Right Now. You probably know the song. It's a great song. I don't want to hear any other songs.
Yeah,
but I respect that they wrote that one song. And there's nothing wrong because that's all you need, right?
They
You can
did
make a
one,
whole career out of that. You
They
know,
did one,
a lot of bands are doing that now. Make a career out of one song.
Right.
But when you hear an album, you really get to know like who a band is. You get to know their sound real well. You can hear their influences in their music. You know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know how we got on this subject, but
I mean, to go back to relate that. I mean, that's what's up with the EP. I want it, like Braden said. I'm a critic. I want it to be good and to represent us.
Will keeps us on the straight and narrow. He's like, no, boys, no, that ain't it.
Yeah, but
And I'm like, okay, good.
I want it to age well. You know, like what you're saying too, where it can be like a good, continuous thing.
Yeah, this is sorry to throw the subject off, but dude, can I dip out for like a minute to take a piss?
do what you gotta do, man.
Dude, I knew this was gonna happen.
Shout out to PBR.
Oh shit! Fuck
You
Brian.
kids and your weak bladders.
I do got,
He's tiny man, tiny
Them
man.
middle and high school teachers fucked me up, man. I had to hold it too long.
Hey, little kids, I'm over here struggling myself.
Oh, shit.
I'm trying to run this thing and hold a piss.
You need like a catheter under the table, man.
Hey, I thought about getting that bucket over there and just letting y'all watch.
That'd be awesome. But wear shorts next time, you know.
You just kind of.
Damn.
So, with the winter months coming up, do you guys have anything lined up? You know, in terms of live shows, that kind of thing.
This weekend we're playing in Clemson, and then next weekend we're playing at the barn.
Tell the people. Tell the,
The
people.
people.
Yeah.
Next weekend Clemson. Next weekend, or this weekend Clemson. Next weekend the barn, and then New Year. I don't know. That's the only one's official, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's the only
November
one's official.
13th, and then 20th, and then
20th.
we got New Year's, which is a little far away.
Is that guaranteed?
That's up in the air.
What
But that's
venues?
Yeah. What venue?
Ground Zero.
Oh, I love Mick.
Yeah.
You
Shout
need
out to
come
Mick.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Mick too.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Thank you,
man.
Mick.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that are in the scene. He's been in the scene. I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
I mean, you know, I don't want to age him, but when I was a teenager, I was going to shows at Ground Zero.
The man's laid back. He's
Yeah,
like,
super laid back, super chill. He really loves.
Oh,
he's
hell
he's
yeah.
doing it for the right reason. You know, in
Yeah.
fact, I don't want to dive too deep into the business of things, but before I ever pulled the trigger on this whole Rooster idea, I called Mick, or I emailed him, and I asked him for some of his time.
Yeah.
And I haven't told this story before, so I'll
Yeah.
tell it now. So Mick, if you ever get to see this, I hope you don't mind. So before I purchased the space that we're going to build the Rooster in, I reached out to Mick. He seemed like the only approachable venue owner that I knew. I've been going to shows since the mid '90s. So,
Yeah, right.
you know, I've been to a lot of different places, and a lot of the places I went to are closed down now. So I reached out to Mick, and I'm like, you know, can I get just a little bit, like, let me buy you lunch. Let me buy you lunch. Let me talk to you. And of course, I get there, and you know, he's a little apprehensive, rightfully so. He's like, who is this guy that wants to have lunch? He wants to buy me lunch. You know, God knows what he was thinking. But you know, we sat down and we talked, and I asked him about, you know, his experience as a venue owner.
Right.
And I poured my heart out to him. I was like, I want to do this in Gastonia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to do this really bad. Like, I love music. I think there's so much talent in this area that I feel like Gastonia deserves, the artists in this town deserve a place kind of like what you have here.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't take it as threatening, which I
nice,
respected the shit out of. You know, he didn't feel threatened at all by me, and he was kind enough to give me some advice. He told me what to look out for. He told me, like, you know,
that's
the red flags to watch out for, with not just with bands, but with promoters and, you know, municipalities.
Right.
You know, Mick, I don't want to put his business out there, but, you know, he hasn't had the easiest road, you know, to keep his venue open.
Yeah.
He shared some of those experiences with me, and it was inspiring, and it was very, very helpful. And it's helped me to make better decisions on how we put this together.
Things,
And so guys like Mick are they're the lifeblood of the scenes. You know, just like what you're doing with the barn is very similar to what Mick does. And he's been doing it for over 20 years.
I was about to say, I got to talking to him one night for a good while.
Him and Brian close, they're cool.
And he was telling me about how, what band was it that he said? Damn it.
Slayer.
No,
we don't want to call
Slayer.
anybody out if it's bad. So.
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
It was cool. It was this band. Damn it was a big name band. But before they were right before they were selling out arenas or whatever, Mick was throwing shows in his basement. He said.
It was Nirvana you were talking about. He saw him in the garage.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
I think this was late '90s.
He tried.
I think. Yeah, but he was like, well, all I know is he's been throwing shows in his basement before he had a venue. You know, he's talking about this big band that played in his basement, and the next night went and sold out this big area or whatever. And so yeah, this dude has been doing it for a long time. You know, I've gotten taught to. We played there like 3 times now.
3, yeah.
And I've gotten taught to make a good bit and stuff. And yeah, he told me a lot of stories.
He's got a ton of them. He's got a ton of them.
Has it been the same building that whole time?
No. I don't want to put his business out there. This is his 3rd location.
Okay. I was curious about that. I forgot to ask him.
He's on his 3rd location, and this one is his. He ain't going anywhere.
I like that spot. It's kind of warehouse.
I do too. It's warehouse is kind of out where you can
I like
be
that
as loud as you want.
In the industrial district.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Skate 3.
Yeah, so I my dumb ass bought a building in downtown, so it's gonna be all eyes on me.
No, that is cool though. That's awesome.
like kind of like the goal of venue. I feel like if
some
you get
sort
a
of
spot
presence.
downtown,
Yeah.
you got
presence is
potential.
cool.
That shit is cool.
Well, it's good and bad. You know, you've got, you know, the good side is foot traffic, right?
Yeah.
You know, like Gastonia's an up and coming scene, so, you know, over the course of the next 5, 10, 15 years, there's going to be more and more people walking around down there, more opportunity.
Yeah, right.
You know, but you know, then there's the bad side. You know, all eyes are on you. You know,
Right.
You know, one incident and it could, we could be done forever. You know, so we gotta pay attention to security. And,
Is there a noise rule?
11 p.m.
11?
Yeah, well,
That's bullshit, man. In downtown,
Who's open at 11?
The bars can stay
Talk
open
to the old white dudes that make the rules. You know?
God, dude. Come on, damn it.
See, the Rooster's gonna have to annex itself away from the city.
Yeah,
the
right.
Roosterville.
Look, man,
Roosterville.
We'll create our own community of one, right?
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have
These
to.
We'll
bars-
petition the state.
Dude, these bars are open till 2 a.m. They can serve alcohol till 2 a.m. and you got drunk ass motherfuckers out in the front yelling. Like, I've been one of those drunk motherfuckers before out there just being loud, but you can't play music inside the building until 2 o'clock. That's stupid, man.
God
That's the dumbest
damn.
shit, man.
It's done.
I tend to agree. Yeah, but you know,
Can't do nothing about it.
rules is rules.
We're not gonna put you on the
not bad,
spot.
I guess.
Let's not put this man on the spot.
No.
He's got a good spot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's like, well, you know, like I want to start when we get open. I want to start shows at 7, You know, man, I want to give people a full night of entertainment, especially on Fridays and Saturdays when we're charging the cover and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, have y'all started doing that yet? Have y'all started the
We
cover?
just started this year, and we try to make it free.
Hate it.
We hate charging, but
I love paying the bands.
It's good that you can pay the bands, and then we get to keep a little bit extra and put it in.
And your shit gets destroyed.
Because we've had to buy multiple mic stands, PA stand, like speaker stands and stuff. So
you're starting to get a little taste of what it's like to be business owners, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
and the barn's falling apart, man.
I'm stealing shingles from the new house.
Stop.
It's not business. It's not business I'm stealing from. That was one time.
But I get it, and I respect it, and I love what you're doing, man. I really do.
Thank you.
We love what you're doing, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate it. I mean, the world needs more. The world needs more art. I hate to sound corny as fuck, but it's true.
It is true.
It's true.
You know, I'm 42 years old, and I still feel that the same way I did when I was a young man. You know, going to shows. When I go to a live show, I still get that jolt of energy in my body when the speakers are just booming and you feel it in your chest. Yeah. And you know, some people go to church for that kind of feeling.
And your ears are then ringing afterwards.
Yeah, but I go to shows for that. You know, that's my house of worship. You know, when I can go and share and experience live art, live music. You know, someone's pouring their heart and soul out right in front of you. You know, it doesn't get any better than that.
It don't. It really
See, when Michael was a young boy, his father took him into the city to see a rockin' band.
I hate that song, dude. I fucking hate that song. Dude, fuck you. That's gonna be stuck in my head for hours, man.
You are welcome, sir.
Damn it.
fuck you up, bro.
What's your favorite band, bro?
Paul.
Is that your favorite band, Paul?
No. I forgot what they're...
What is your favorite band,
The
Paul?
Black... not the Black Keys. What are they? Who are they?
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance.
That's My Chemical Romance. Either way, fuck them.
Black Keys are awesome.
Yeah, the Black Keys are cooler than My Chemical Romance, I will say.
But who's your favorite band?
Is there any other bands you want to trash? You want to have a trash session?
I actually love to listen to this podcast called Your Favorite Band Sucks, and so I've gotten some good hints on how to hate on
Nirvana
bands
sucks.
that so many people like.
Nirvana is terrible. I hate Nirvana as much as everybody loves to like rock on Nirvana. I can't stand. I can't stand the music.
Okay. I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion.
All right.
And I don't hate Nirvana. I'll just say this. When I was in a band, when I was 17, 18 years old, and I was in a band, this was, during the grunge thing.
Yeah,
we had this whole grunge thing going. At the time, my favorite band was Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains. Those were my two
I
bands.
love Alice in Chains. Yeah.
But our guitar player, his favorite band was Nirvana. He loved them so much that was all I heard forever.
Listen to anything else?
Nothing else.
No way.
So I don't hate Nirvana, but I've heard enough.
It got radio eyes, man. It got I don't know.
The dude was a
still
poet.
hear that shit on that
Kurt
radio.
Cobain was a poet.
Just pull him out in front of, out from behind the microphone, and he was fine.
Mute your microphone. Damn it.
Yeah, you're not gonna talk me into hating
Just
Nirvana.
play.
No, I think Nirvana was the American version of the Sex Pistols, and the Sex Pistols absolutely sucked.
No, it was not.
Damn it.
You're trying to get us canceled, man. Stop what you're saying.
Well, you can't shout out My Chemical Romance and just say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Next thing you know, he's going to tell us how big of a Creed fan he is.
Oh God.
No, see, it's all about. It's not Creed. It's Nickelback's. That's my jam.
I was trying not to go there. That's the easy target.
Bad Wolves.
Damn, bro.
Okay. I'm done hating.
Yeah, let's enough with the trash session. We could do this for hours.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of good shit out there. And no matter where you get your inspiration from.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, I like Lady Gaga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too.
She's one of the most talented people on the planet. You ever seen her on a piano singing? Like, shit'll make you cry, man.
Yeah.
It'll bring you to tears. It's so emotional and moving. Miley Cyrus, super talented singer.
I was about to say, Kira, damn it, I didn't want to say that I'm impressed with Miley Cyrus in this, but yeah, Kira showed me this video of her running on a treadmill, like running and like singing, and I was like, holy.
Oh, I did see that
shit.
video.
Yeah, that kind of talent, that level of talent's a gift. Like,
Yeah.
That's
so
some chest control.
like no question, she works for it. I'm not minimizing the work, but that's a gift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that. You know,
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to check out her singing with Metallica on their.
nice.
Oh, I
Shit,
saw that. That was
pretty-
cool.
Really?
It's
That
very
was cool.
interesting. It's an interesting new take on their.
That's
one of their
cool.
That's pretty
classic
cool.
bands. It's they did a really good job together.
Yeah.
I bet.
I just saw
I can vouch.
Metallica at Aftershock.
You saw him?
They played the whole Black Album at
Really?
Aftershock. It was I was telling you about Aftershock before the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Black Album is probably one of the worst albums ever.
What's that?
Oh,
What's that
man.
song?
Are you talking about one?
You're talking about
One.
one. Yeah, that's
Talking
Yeah,
about
one. I
That's
like
off
one.
Injustice for All.
I like that drum.
And Justice for All is actually my favorite Metallica album.
Really?
Ride the Lightning and Justice for All, they're right up there.
I like the Kill 'Em All album. It's probably my
He's,
favorite.
he's old school.
I like that one too.
I do like old school Metallica a lot.
Yeah,
Is one not old school?
I don't know.
it is.
honestly.
It is. Yeah, anything before the Black Album's old school.
I'm not fully
That's-
educated in
That's
Metallica.
well, the Black Album's kind of like the line in the sand for some fans.
And the album I'm talking about is before the Black Album?
Yeah.
Alright, good.
Yeah, the thing about that is like that's the one thing about metal fans. Metal fans can be so finicky sometimes. They're the nicest people on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been seeing. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this or not, but on social media, I've been seeing a lot of like shots fired at this whole Travis Scott show thing about how that would never happen at a metal show.
Yeah, I
Because,
did some of that. Yeah, some of that.
Yeah, and it's true. It's true. I mean, I've been going to metal shows my entire adult life, and not once has anyone ever been trampled. Yeah,
Right.
if someone falls, the whole pit stops to get
You
them
almost
up.
get fucking
That's
thrown
what-
up in the fucking air,
Yeah,
man.
and then once we know they're okay, we go right back at it.
Yeah.
But so one of the things metal fans do that does kind of annoy me sometimes is they want to like subgenre and it's kind of some people think it's cool to hate on Metallica, but you put Black or even the Load album, you put that album in front of someone and don't tell them it's Metallica, they're gonna fucking love it. It's like, this is awesome.
Wait, they say it's not metal? Is that
No,
what
it's just because it doesn't sound like old school Metallica. But I mean,
oh.
how many albums you gonna put out? Yeah, like
They
You
don't
gotta
want to sound the
change, you gotta
same.
evolve.
yeah, you keep putting the same album out, people won't get sick of that shit.
Yeah, you
know
get
what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
double-edged sword. You're gonna get fucked.
Yeah,
you're gonna get shit on
your sound
way.
has to evolve.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change things, and it kind of takes me back and reminds me of like an old interview that they did with AC/DC where they were talking to Angus Young and saying, "Hey, what's your take on this? People are out here saying that you've put out 12 albums and they all sound the exact same." He said, "Well, they're completely wrong, man. We've put out 13 albums and they all sound the same." So, I mean, it's you got to find your niche and I think stick with it or run that risk of trying to reinvent
like King
yourself. So
King
Yeah.
Giz, I'm not like a big King Giz guy really at all. Like, I mean, somewhat. But anyway, they are good at different sounds,
Yeah,
man.
I wouldn't say they inspire us as far as what we play, but they do inspire us as far as like playing a bunch of different kind of shit.
I like the
well,
switch
they're
up.
experimental.
Yeah,
they're not afraid
hell
to take. They're not
yeah.
afraid to take risks.
Exactly.
They killed that
And-
metal album.
Yeah, they did Infest the Rat's Nest.
Yeah, I like
they
that
killed
one.
that.
Man. I like that one.
But
Yeah, I'll shout out to the New Creatures. We talked to
The
them
New
a
Creatures.
while back, and they're the ones that introduced me to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is who we're talking
yeah,
about.
heck yeah.
And they're an experimental kind of garage surf rock kind of.
Are they local?
No,
They're from Australia?
I don't know where King Giz is from, but
They're from Australia.
New Creatures are local.
Australian bands have a lot of similar ways.
They really do. The Australian punk scene looks fucking insane.
Oh, it's fucked
Yeah.
up over
It
there.
looks
Have you not
nuts.
seen any of that shit?
I don't. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Parkway Drive.
Dude, Australia's putting out music like
Yeah.
Coffin.
That's
oh
where
my God.
Emil and the Sniffers, like you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
that you just recently started listening to them.
Yeah.
They're from Australia.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what he's referencing is I watched y'all's interview with Static Attic and Kira talked about being inspired by Emil and the Sniffers, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's an interesting name for a band. So I I paused the interview for a minute to pull up A Meal and the Sniffers on YouTube and went down this rabbit hole and
right.
ended up with the Viagra Boys on my screen, all kinds of crazy
Their
shit.
new album's good. Have you listened to
I just found them out like 3 days ago, so I'm in it right now. I'm in the thick of it.
Golly, it's pretty good.
It's good stuff, and that's, you know what, that might be one of my favorite things about doing what we're doing here with the Rooster is being able to continue to be connected to new sounds, new music, new bands that I would never have heard of. That, you know, A Meal and the Sniffers was never going to pop up on my algorithm.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They weren't. But now that I know, they're in there.
And then it sends a million different ones.
Then you get to discover more new shit.
Yeah.
And that's why this shit's important, people.
Indeed.
You know, go to college, get a degree, go work for some boring ass corporation if you want. But the rest of us are celebrating art and celebrating life because this is what matters.
Hell fucking
I don't give a shit how many cars you got, how much money you got, how big. I got a big house, motherfucker. What? I do pretty good, but I still stay tied into the arts, and because without it, life's not worth living to me. And I think that's a great place to wrap things up. Let's before we do that. Tell everyone where to find you, direct them where you want them to go, and maybe a little word of wisdom before we check out here.
Well, you can find us on Instagram at The Planks Band, Spotify and Apple Music, just The Planks, and whatever bullshit else streaming services they have these days. Bandcamp.
You forgot
Planks.
TikTok.
Fuck TikTok. We will never ever have a
God.
TikTok. Don't even try to find us on
sorry
TikTok
about that.
ever. You will be disappointed. And if you... Never mind. Just don't find us on TikTok.
At the Planks Band.
Yeah, at The Planks Band on Instagram and Spotify Apple Music.
Words of wisdom? What do you want to leave our audience with?
Do the...
No.
Yeah, do
the thing, do it. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Means a lot.
Yeah.
Will, you got anything?
Well,
That's it. Ditto.
Josh, you got any
Spoke
last
for well.
words?
Oh, I'm good, brother.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, folks. This has been another episode of Rooster Radio.
thank you.
Go to KMLT.org. We have a Christmas show coming up Friday, December 17th at the Joy Performance Center in downtown Kings Mountain. We've got 4 local bands coming to perform classic Christmas songs that you all know and love in their own styles. Tickets are available now on KMLT.com. That's a very merry musical Christmas presented by the Rooster. All proceeds go to benefit the Kings Mountain Little Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Planks, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. We appreciate